to the repair shop, the repair shed. Gotta get that right. I traded for this James Bond car 10 or 11 years ago to paint a goalie hockey helmet. And I traded it for this James Bond kind of tin toy collector car, which is very hard to get, and they can be quite expensive. So just to show you, it's a the DB James Bond car. There it is. Didn't have the box on it, didn't have any wiring out, and it wasn't running because there was a cog snap that was cracked. It was actually broken a bit. And there's other issues, but I've redone the wiring and everything in that, so I'm getting close to finishing. But let's go back up here. There we go. It's been 11 years, but there was a good long time where I was waiting to find the right cog to install in the motor. Like was one that was snapped in half, and I really couldn't do anything about it. And I decided I'd have to wait and get the exactly right toothed cog. And then all of a sudden, I was on the Temu site one day and I saw this package for a couple of bucks for a whole stack of like 50 cogs or something. I bought them all. But I counted the teeth and I reckoned I might have one in there that I could adjust onto it. And that's exactly what I did. And after all that time, I did find the parts. So sometimes waiting pays off, but this has been a long one. This has been one of the longest restoration projects I think I've ever done. And it's still ongoing because there's some parts that still don't work properly, but it's getting really close. And today we made the connector box with the switches, the off and on switch, the ejection switch, and the drive switch. So I'm quite happy about that. Yeah, so at long last, I'm back to my James Bond car, and instead of using my homemade piece here that I was doing, I've decided, and I started making the true controls, and I've decided to switch to this power box piece. I've cut off the tube that came down here and cleaned it up just a little. But I think it's just easier to work on this, and I'm going to put an on and off switch here, and then I'm going to put the two control buttons here, one for the power to the whole car and the jig jag, and I think the other one is the ejection seat, which I'll make the red button. So this will be just the power off and on. So all I got to do is drill this, wire it, and hope it works. Now, it's interesting because two of these are live, and I think two of these are ground. So I just got to work that out with the batteries. So, and I have to put some wires up, one red wire live up to this, and another red wire out, connecting to the various switches. And when I lift it up, the wires should come away so I can get the battery out. That's really all I have to work on. So I'm just going to drill these holes and see where I'm at. Yes, so I drilled a little hole in here, and what I'm thinking of doing is putting the switches this side like this, and gluing it in, soldering it in there like that, see, into that hole. Don't want to go yet, but it'll go into there like that, and then bring this around like this. Then when you take the lid off, this is going to all the power wires, right? And when you take the lid off, this comes out and clears to get your batteries out. You know, everything else will be on the lid here, so all the electricals. And then it'll be fixed into there like that, into that piece, and it'll just fold over. All right, so we'll try that. I'll solder that in, and then we'll go on from there. Got to piece it together slowly. So I made a washer with a very thin piece here for that side of that. And it's because this switch has two little rivets here, so it's kind of wobbling. So I thought I'd kind of mitigate so that it's level. So it goes in like this. And then the one wire goes up into that edge like that. And then this just gets screwed on now. And we have our on and off switch. So That's a good start. Now we just drill 2 more holes and put in these 2 switches. And we should have our mechanics for the wiring ready. Yeah, just gonna tighten this. I put the plate on, the on and off plate. We just tighten this up a little here. Oops, so it doesn't move too much while we're trying to get things ready. And there we go. We're getting there. It's nice. It's going to be nice. Every little bit counts. Just drilling the 2 switch holes here. Small drill first. Now my drill has a tendency to loosen out under pressure for some reason lately. There we go. Switch over to the larger drill. Yeah, I need a middle-sized drill first because you don't want to do that little egg, right? If you go straight to large drill, you'll have an egg-shaped drill hole. Mind your finger when you're doing this, because you're putting your finger behind. It's plastic, it can't twist, but if it's metal, use a vice grips. Here we go. We'll go low. Oh, we can stay high, I suppose. We can go low. See how nice and straight the drill hole is now? Because it has a pilot hole. I think we can go on the fast speed and just gauge it. There you go. Should nearly fit exact because the drill hole is close. Yeah, look at that, look at that. It would nearly screw in there. A little bit of filing. I have a file here, a half round somewhere. And when you want it, you can't. There she is. Get some of that plastic off. Yeah, I went a bit fast here, so it melted a bit. So, but who cares? It should fit in pretty good. See. Look at that. Needs a little grind. I can nearly twist it in. But a little grind and should be there. I wonder will my Dremel fit in this one. Oh, that's close. Let's see what this is, width of this is. I don't want to go too big. Oh, that's just over 10. I mean, it could be okay. More power. Voila! Yeah, we're moving now. We're getting a switchboard, aren't we, huh? Isn't that lovely? Then I put the black one. Ejection seat's red. Eject. This is the other one, whatever that is. I think that's the drive shaft for power. And the on and off switch. And that'll all go on top here with the plus side up this way. And we'll have our switch contact for the car. It's quite pretty. Even the old power box. Actually, new power box. So the wiring goes like this. I had a switch that broke on me, so the tab broke, so I had to go take it out and put a smaller switch in, which has kind of put me back quite a bit. But I have right here, let's go look at it all. I'll put on this little thing so I can point. So we have the live wire here from the plus into the switch and out the main switch. So that comes out here. Now you have a live going to the injection button. So you always interrupt the live, right? With your switch. And that goes to the ejection seat. The orange. And then you have over here this red and the other silver one here that's live goes to the motor. So we have the motor, as you can see, running on this switch here. And this is the ejection seat. So when it's running, you click this and she ejects. Now, she gets stuck sometimes. I'm not too sure why it's sticking. But everything else seems okay. It just gets a bit jammed there. I don't know whether it's just because of the car or what. Once you open it up, oh, she was running again. Oh, I know why. One of the wires have come off. These wires are very light, so it's a bit annoying. Yeah, I don't see any problem with why the motor's not working though. That one's on still. They're on. They're on. There she goes again. She's a bit jamming, right? A little bit jammy. Might be the new cog, you know. I'll put a little oil on everything and see if it works a bit better. There she goes, a bit better. So all I'm left with is to Dremel a hole in here. These wires that I used, I wish I used thicker wires, but it's a bit late. I'm going to Dremel through here, put this through, and then put I think a Ziploc tie on the other end so it can't come out. Something simple. But I got to Dremel this so that the lid can close. So we're getting really close. So here's my Dremel with the diamond bit. Let's hope this works. The batteries are getting flat as well, so. Got a pinch in there like that. I'd say that's nearly good enough. A little more. I'm going to chop my finger there. I think that's enough to hold her in place. So we'll just get a Ziploc and we'll stick it on and hope it all screws together. I'm going to correct that, not a Ziploc, a zip tie. You know, one of those little ties you pull. Don't know why I said Ziploc. A plastic bag on it. Zip tie correction. Turn off the heat for a minute. There we go. I need heat in here. It is cold tonight. So we'll just squeeze that in there like that, right at the end, but give it a bit of room and make sure it can't come off. I'm going to put that in there like with the lid upside down. We're going to cut this off here. And we're going to hope that holds that all in place, right? And then the lid goes on like this. We're having a little struggle still. There she goes. There's a little bit of something here, look, because of the wiring, right? Yeah, right there. And I don't know whether it's the tab needs to go or that sponge, I think. So we just got to get rid of some of this black sponge, which is sealant for outdoor electrics, which we aren't going to really need. So I'm going to do that on the other side as well. I'm going to get rid of that without cutting any wires here. See if she closes a bit better. It's never going to be outside, so you don't have to really worry about that. We're worried about these finicky wires I've got. There we go. It's closing down better now, look. I have 2 screws here for her. One. I actually found the second one. Both go in there. I get a star screwdriver and put her down. And you know what? That's enough for tonight, I think. Oops, that's not a star screwdriver. One's a bit small for it. I got a big heavy one here. I used to use this one in, wouldn't believe it, in Ireland when I was 21, this screwdriver. Goes way back. Some tools are just really old. There you go. We have our switch box. She's on. There's a solenoid working. And this is just because the batteries are low, I think. Yeah, and there's the solenoid working. So it's all working. It's in case that can close a little bit better. A little bit better, but you know, I'll fix that now. But otherwise, for the purpose of the video, I think we're good enough, aren't we? This isn't going to come out, so voila! Move on. We got to put the casing on and all that yet. Sorry. So here we go. I have a electrical conduit box where I plugged the hole, put a bit of a broomstick handle in there and painted it. It can be painted again, actually. And then I put in all the electrics in here. Needs a little cleaning there. Put all the electrics in for the car, off and on switch and all that. And this is a tube, I think it's for fishing lure. And here is the car, so it goes down to the car here and locks in here at the bottom. Now, I might put a zip tie around that as well to stop that flipping out as well on me. We'll see, but it hasn't come out so far. It's mainly for following the car, right? You can follow the car with this now. This will be on the ground, and here's all the box and all the electrics, which is a little bit of a messy wire thing, but that's the way they are. I have a little bit of an issue still here with this gear thing. When it goes up and down, it doesn't really work properly. It doesn't flick back up into that gear there, see? See that? That comes out, is pushed out, and then it kind of stays out. And I got to find a way of getting that sprung load back in. And there's, see, the wire's been soldered here. So it needs a bit of a spring here or something to make that work. But all in all, most of the problems are solved. So I'm quite happy. There's that spring load seat. So, I mean, most of the problems are solved. So we have the most of the stuff done that was damaged in this car. This has been like 6-10 years or more hanging around waiting for parts and all sorts. So it's time to get it off the bench.